Hey guys, hope you're all keeping well. So today I'm finally back with another BMW M140i video. So as the title suggests, what we're doing today is we're going to be talking what it's been like living with the M140i after the first 4 months of ownership, and talking about some of the positives and the negative of owning the car at this time. I did plan to do this video after 3 months of ownership, and in all honesty, it's been, now I've had the car going towards 5 months, but with life getting in the way, bad weather, I've not been able to really get any footage. So currently I'm just sat in the car, sat inside the garage. What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to talk to you about what it's basically been like having it. Some of the things in terms of like what my thoughts on the looks of the car, the comfort, the handling, the performance, the running costs, all that kind of stuff. So what we'll do is shortly we'll get the car out, we'll go somewhere with a bit of open space and have a look around the car, talk a little bit about that. It is really windy today. I'm actually recording this on Christmas Eve. I've got up really early today and thought, why not get a video made? So the weather is pretty bad, but I'm hoping with it being early enough I can get out and about and get somewhere where we can get enough space, where it's quiet, and actually get some footage on the car. We'll talk a little bit about that. So, with the first thing I want to cover initially is the sound of the car. And I'm in a perfect environment being inside the garage to let you listen to what the cold start sounds like. So here we go guys, cold start.
Recording started.
Does sound pretty well. Thing is, when I do this, it echoes really loud in the house, so I'll definitely knows when I'm starting car and getting it moving. But I don't know why, but the cold start just makes me smile every time. I think it just sounds fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the car out now anyway, we'll get it parked up somewhere and we'll have a look around it. Okay guys, so we've just come down to Freeport, which is at junction 32. It's quite quiet here at the moment. It's only just turned 10 o'clock, so shops will be opening, but a lot of cars coming, so we've got a bit of space. So we're going to get out and have a look around the car and have a little bit of a talk about that. Some of the things I like and other bits and bobs you can do with them and stuff like that. Surprised I managed to keep it so clean, especially with bad weather, but to be fair, every time it rains, the car goes back in garage, so don't get time to get mucky. I do pretty much love the standard look of these, to be fair. It's like all I've got on mine is a rear diffuser on there, which is a Rega diffuser on the back, then a Maxim front splitter on the front, but they do look quite smart. Also the standard alloy wheels as well. A lot of people do change those, but for me, I really do like the standard alloys on these. But there's so much you can actually do with these in terms of body wise, in terms of the splitters on the back. And you get your spoilers, obviously your side skirts, you can get different kinds of alloy wheels. But for me, at the moment, I like it. The only thing I may do in the future is change and put some side skirts on it and maybe raise a spoiler, but over half thinks that'll look tacky, so I'm not going to bother. With front ends, obviously with canards, got them, they're black. So usually come, is it ferret grey, something like that? And obviously the mirror caps. But I've seen people put GTS bonnets on here, different wings with grills in them, obviously alloys, there's your stance kits you can get. There's all kinds of things you can do to customise these the way you actually want it to be. So I absolutely adore the car. I adore the shape of the car. I think it looks quite smart as they are. It could do with a stance kit to be a bit lower, to be fair, and have the wheels set out and fill the arch a bit better. That's something to look down the line. So obviously it's got a sunroof. I didn't really want the sunroof, to be fair, but it's got it, so have and not need, then need and not have type thing. But yeah, good looking car. So go inside. So a couple of things to cover on this side. I think the interior on them, to be fair, the seats could be better. I do like the seats. I like this colour as well, which, thanks to the viewer on an old video, it's oyster. But they don't look the sportiest of seats, but they are still quite nice. So I do like those. In the interior, in terms of ease of use, everything seems quite easy to use, to be fair. Thankfully the car's quite clean. I haven't done inside of it yet, but it is still quite clean. But using the navigation system, everything like that, it's got Pro Nav on this, that's quite easy all to use. The functions, everything seems to be where I need it to be for me personally, so that seems all quite nice. In terms of space, I must say, getting in and out the back with being 3-door is a bit of a nightmare. You don't get a hell of a lot of room, so depends on people to get in the back. It's like one of our family members in the back. Getting in and out from when they're a bit older, it's not the best. And even though it's 3 seats in the back, I've only had 2 people in, and I can imagine it could get quite a squeeze. But let's go have a look at the boot. So for me, the boot's absolutely spot on when we're doing the shopping and that. It's decent sized boot, ignore the rags, no story behind that. But it is a good sized boot. All the seats all drop down anyway. So what I do with this, I actually had some large step ladders. I'm in the wrong part of the time, I need to pick some up. So half shelf down, back seats dropped, sorry about the wind. Use this, I ideally want to have step ladders in this car, but I need to do it at the time. So I covered all the interior, and with the front seat down, headrest out, that seemed to work quite well. Okay, so I've abandoned that outside the car. Wind's picked up and it started raining a bit heavier, so yeah, I don't think this camera's really waterproof, so don't want to be out in that too much. But yeah, all in all, like I said, it's a decent spacious car for what it is for a 1 Series. I have had 4 people in here, including myself, so it has done the job in that regard. The car still does pull well as well in terms with that, but I do think it's a nice clean interior. It's smart for what it is. Like I said, the seats could be a bit sportier, could be something like you get on your more of your M cars, but with this being like an M Light, the in between, it's good for what it is. I know a lot of people aren't particularly keen on these seats, but for me, my opinion is I do actually like them. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is, I might actually do a bit of shopping while I'm here, and then after that, I'll have a bit of a drive in the car, and we'll have a little bit of a talk in terms of what the power's like, what I feel it's like in terms of that, the ride, the comfort, and then a few bit of the cost which I've experienced so far. Before I do, just a couple of things which we've got on this one, spec-wise. So we got the Arm & Cardan. I definitely wanted that. When I first got in BMWs, I heard that sound system. I really did like it, so I did want that in the car. It has heated seats as well. Pro navigation. It's got, is it enhanced Bluetooth called? Yeah. The cruise, bifolding mirrors. One thing it doesn't have electric seats, which I'm not bothered, because to be fair, well, it's like I want to put my seat back, and that's quicker. So electric seats weren't really a problem for me. It's got the rear parking sensors, but it ain't got front parking sensors, which front parking sensors I'm not bothered about anyway. A rear camera would have been handy, to be fair, for getting in and out the garage, but after a bit of practice, I'm used to getting that in and out anyway. So for me, so far, the last couple of months, I've got used to it more. It's easy getting in and out the garage now. It's like second nature. And I love the look of the car. I think they're a great little car. Let me know what you think about the looks of these and some of the customizable bits you can do to them in terms of modifications. But like I say, I'm going to go inside and have a bit of a shop now, and then we'll do a bit more of a talk in terms of some of the other aspects of the car. Hey guys, so I thought instead of doing a video driving back and talking a bit more about the car, since this video in terms of what it's been like for me living with the car for the past 4.5 months, show what it's like actually in the garage and show you what room I've actually got to work with. So when I originally buying a new car, buying this, I'm actually looking at M4 competition, but no way I'm going to fit in the garage. It's a new build house I've got, so it's like a built-in garage as well. It's part of the house, like living rooms, other side of the wall, stairs, blah, blah, blah. It's integrated, that's the word. It fits nicely, to be fair. It's a bit of a squeeze, but this is what I'm working with, so I'll take the camera around. So I do have room to be able to get out the car, which is good. If we go around the front, yeah, it's only just in. The reason why it's only just in, we do have a bit of room at the back, mind the mess. So she just fits in with the lawnmower, punch bag and everything's just down there. So there's a little bit of room, but that side of the car, there's barely out. So yeah, but like I said, a camera would have been easier for me to be able to get into the back, but parking sensors were essential. But to be fair, the parking sensors, you'll know parking sensors on cars anyway. It sounds like you've crashed, but there was still like another foot to go. So, but anyway, so what we're going to cover is, we've already covered the look of the car, absolutely adore the look of these cars. I do feel like I'm going to look at an M240, but I like these better with the look of them. Interior, like I said, the seats could be a bit better, but I like them, but a lot of people don't. So all in all with that, I'm up with that side of it. In terms of performance side, we're basically covering like the power of the engine, the brakes, suspension handling. The engine on these are very tunable. You do have a lot of work you can do with these. Mine's completely stock apart from a double res delete on the exhaust. But the standard block on these, you can push over 500 brake without changing any internal components. As far as I'm aware, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And you can do that quite easily with these, just change a few components and a remap, stage 2 plus and that, I think it'll do to that. If you do any improvements in that, you have to do your brakes and your suspension. The brakes on these, the standard ones feel weird. They feel like you're kind of not stopping, but you are stopping. You have to put a lot more pressure on, it feels like. So upgrading your brakes and your suspension checks will be essential if you're upgrading the power on these, especially the diff as well. For me, I've had no problems, even when I've been giving the car a bit of boot. I've had no problems at all with the handling side. The arse end hasn't been getting skiddy out. There's like one little occasion where it's had a bit of a twitch, but apart from that, it's been perfectly fine. But there's a lot of tuning you can do on these cars, you can do them quite easy. I don't think the cost is actually that bad, to be fair. It's not ridiculous. So there is a lot of potential you can do with them. In terms of actually the comfort and the ride itself, I mentioned this before in a previous video, but uneven roads, for me, it's not the best out there. In terms of the costs, I've not had some major costs with the car because of the fact that I've only had it 4.5 months, so servicing, etc. I haven't had to do. Unfortunately, the first week, or a week, 2 weeks, I got 2 nails in my tyre, so I had to change the tyre already. It has got Bridgestones on these Potenzas. Ideally I wanted to change the tyre of the asymmetric 6s or some Michelin ones, but I didn't want to have an odd tyre, so it was a front tyre and that cost me £127 for a Bridgestone, and that were including fitting, so it's not too bad. In terms of the fuel which I put in, with these cars you've got to expect, if you're going to have one of these and drive it round and put foot down at all, it is going to use a lot of fuel. If I'm driving on the motorway doing a long drive, it is, in my opinion, quite good for what it is. I can get about 330 mile out of full tank, which at current prices cost me about £65. But if I'm just driving locally, I can put £50 in and maybe get 100 mile, 110 mile at most. It's not the best for when you're doing stop-start journeys like me. Mile per gallon's gone down. It was around about 43 when I did my long run. But now I haven't done a long run in it and doing local, it's dropped down to like 29 mile per gallon. It'll probably just keep dropping. When I first got the car, I think I got it down to like 17 mile per gallon. So that weren't the best, but you've got to expect these in this car, and I did expect it was going to cost me a lot on the fuel, for petrol, sorry, so that is what it is. In terms of the other running cost side, tax, I paid it up £880 for tax, can't complain with that whatsoever. Now, insurance is a major factor on these at the moment in time. Insurance has absolutely shot up. Beginning of this year when I was looking to buy an M4, the price of the insurance on M4 and competition, and even one of these, was about £500 a year less than what I'm actually paying for this now. It's absolutely shocking. So for me, this is like £1,200 a year. 35-year-old, I've no claims. I had a company car before, and then when I changed jobs, I've been a named driver on our last car for 2 years, so I've got no claims. But that's all subject to where you live, personal circumstances. That's on a person by person basis. The car is garaged pretty much all the time. It's in the garage every single night. It's parked up all day. The mileage I do per year is really low as well, but still it's £1,200 a year for me at 35. The price have shot up for these, and they have shot up for a lot of cars. So do bear that in mind. Obviously, when buying one of these, do get obviously insurance quotes first of all. A lot of people are getting renewals now which have doubled, tripled, and been stupid money. But if you can bear that in mind when you're buying one, yeah. But all in all, just to summarise, for me, I do use this, just a disclaimer with it, this isn't my main car, this is my second car I use, because I work just up the road. I only use my other half's little 1 litre Picanto. So with this comes out on weekends, odd evenings, things like that. So I've only done a couple of thousand miles in it. But for me, was it worth it? Absolutely. I absolutely adore this car. I think it sounds absolutely brilliant. It makes me smile every time I drive it, and that's what it is for me. So cost aside in terms of the fuel and the insurance, for me it is worth it, but I might have a different story when renewal comes round. So let me know your thoughts on these cars in the comments below. If you have one, what's your opinions? Obviously the power of the brakes, suspension, handling, the looks of them. Also, if you're looking to buy one of these, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. Just your thoughts of these. But I hope this video has been helpful. What I'll do when we get to, I'll do some other videos obviously on the car, but when we get to the 12-month mark and I've got servicing and MOTing and things like that to go through, I will go through the costs of that side of thing at that time. The only problem I've had with the car since ownership, apart from obviously I've changed the tyre, but that just happens, is the low coolant fault, which there'll be a video, I'll put a link up there about that. They have common issues with losing coolant on these. I changed the cap, which seemed to slow it down, but it could have been what I read it, problem with evaporation. There might be too much water to cool it in there, so I've topped it with proper coolant, and it seems all right at the moment. But if that's not going to be resolved, I have warranty on the car, so that could be another video coming up soon. Hopefully not. I don't want it to be, but if it is more of a problem, I'll keep you guys aware of what that is. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider giving it a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content on the car and other videos that I do. And I hope you have a good Christmas, and I'll see you next time.